Good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome to How to Rock Second Grade with Miss Howe. And today we are doing reading, and we are working on chapter 6 of Growing Up Where Jesus Lived. Now, boys and girls, we left off last time talking about the different types of chores you would have if you were growing up where Jesus lived. And the last chore we were talking about was grape picking. And we said grape picking was like a party because the whole family got involved with the grape picking. And they will move themselves into a tent close to the vineyard so that everyone could participate. So let's dive in to page 60 in Growing Up Where Jesus Lived. After picking the grapes, the children can also help make them into juice. The grapes were put into what looked like a small wading pool carved out of rock. Below was a smaller pool where the juice drained. Everyone walked around in the pool, smashing the grapes with their feet. You would sing and clap to the music while you smashed, being careful not to fall. Your feet and legs would be purple for a long time afterward, but it still would be fun. Another fun job was picking olives. In November, your whole family would go with baskets to collect the ripe olives from the trees. The olives that had fallen to the ground were picked up first. Then the branches were shaken or beaten with a stick until the rest of the olives fell down. Most of the olives were pressed with heavy weights to make oil. Isn't that very awesome? You ever thought about where we got olive oil from or grape juice? Now we know. From vines and from trees. Master, teacher, and good shepherd. When Jesus lived here on earth, he did many things. He was a carpenter with Joseph, a shepherd to his disciples, and a master teacher throughout Israel. He could take the simple job of a shepherd and tell a story about his love for everyone. One story Jesus told was about the Good Shepherd. Now, we just stopped at a gem number 18. Let's go to the back of our book and dig into the treasure of God's love. Now, the gem number 18 takes us all the way to Matthew 18, verse 11 to 14. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. How thinking, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and goeth into the mountains, and seeketh that which is gone astray? And if so, be that he findeth it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than the 99, which went not astray. Even so, it is not the will of our Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. Jesus told this story to show how the Good Shepherd cares about each one of his sheep. The moral of this story is found in verse 11. Jesus, the Son of God, has come to save us from our sin. Isn't that amazing? He will leave all the other sheep to look for you because you are just that important to him. Let's go back to page 62. Men have realized that the Good Shepherd is Jesus. When men retell this story, they want everyone to know what a wonderful shepherd he is. The story has been retold for over 2,000 years. You may have heard it told like this. There was once a shepherd who had a flock of 100 sheep to care for. Some of the sheep were tiny baby lambs with such weak legs that the shepherd had to carry them over the rough places in the road. The shepherd was always kind and good to his sheep. Each morning, he opened the sheepfold and led the flock over the mountain road and beyond the hills to a wonderful green pasture. In this pasture, the sun shone brighter, and the grass grew thicker, and the brook ran clearer than anywhere. All day, the sheep grazed, drank from the brook, and lay under the shade of the olive trees. The little lambs played in the sunshine with no fear. The shepherd was always quiet, close by, to keep away the wild beasts that hid in the mountain passes. When night came, he led the sheep home and kept watch while they slept in the fold. But one evening, as the shepherd entered the fold, something was different. He called softly to the sheep, each one by its name, for he knew all of them. "Aren't my sheep all here?" said the shepherd to himself. Then he went up and down the path, touching each one, gently counting, 1, 2, 3. But there were only 99 sheep in the flock. A little lamb was lost. So the shepherd turned back, leaving the 99 in the fold. He hurried through the dark to find the lamb that was lost. He was a good shepherd. He knew that he could never leave even one of his sheep outside. The stones and the branches caught at his feet, but on and on he went, up the mountainside, looking under every bush and in every hollow for the little lamb. At last, when he had gone a long way, he found the little lamb. It was caught in some bushes by the side of the road. The lamb was crying out. One of his legs was cut and it was bleeding. When the shepherd found it, he laid it tenderly on his shoulders, covered it with his warm cloak. Oh, so sweet. And he went on his way, rejoicing and happy. The shepherd carried the little lamb all the way back to the fold. The little lamb was tired and sore when they reached home, but he was safe in the arms of the shepherd. The good shepherd called his friends and neighbors, saying to them, "Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep, which was lost." John 10 and verse 11 says, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for his sheep." Now that is a good story to remember, boys and girls. God will look for you no matter how lost you are. He'll find you. He'll take you up in his arms and he'll carry you home because he loves you so much. God bless you. I'll see you soon.